Hey there, thanks so much for joining us for another three-tip bit. Today I'm so excited to have my great friend Tyler Harris join us today. Tyler, welcome to the conversation. Please
Thank you
introduce
for
yourself.
having me.
Yeah, tell us who you are, what you do, and who you do it for.
Yeah, so I'm Tyler Harris. I live here in Greenville, South Carolina, and I'm the Chief Development Officer and partner of a company called Consolidated Assurance. And our primary business is in the life insurance space, but very narrowly niched. We target only first responders. So we serve law enforcement, fire, EMS, and corrections with life insurance all over the country.
Awesome. I can only imagine how busy things have been lately, considering
Yes.
the current climate. So,
Absolutely.
so considering that, and what we found in these conversations is that the three tips folks bring to the table don't apply just today and in these uncertain times. They apply always. So, why don't you go ahead and share with us what are the three tips you decided to bring to the table today?
Yeah, so being that we are so narrowly niched, and that's how and why we've had the success that we've had, I wanted to talk about the riches and niches. And so if we look at the three tips, it's really three steps of that process. The first of which is choosing that target market, choosing that target demographic of people that you ultimately want to serve. And the easiest example that I can give is in real estate. If you say, hey, I want to sell all things to all people, that ends up not working out so well. So if you decide, hey, I want to do just for first-time home buyers, great. Well, what if you want to do just first-time home buyers on the east side of town? That's even better. What if you want to do just first-time home buyers on the east side of town that want to ranch home between 150 and 300,000? That's way better. And the more narrow you can get, the better your efficiency is going to be and the better of an expert you can become for that group of people. And then lastly, on the first tip, if you're going to choose a target demographic of people that you're going to be working with, you should be being around. So don't choose old people if you don't like being around old people. Don't choose young people if you don't like being around young people. The second step is to identify 1 to 3, but I would really keep it to 1 or 2 products or services that you're going to offer. That'll give you the ability to, again, stay narrowly focused and become an expert in those things. So now that when you're talking to that group of people that you are an expert in talking to, you're talking about 1 or 2 different products or services that you are an expert in that field, which will just create massive, massive, massive efficiency. And then the third kind of culminates that together, which is building out your system. So building an infrastructure in place to be able to spend all of your time with that group of people talking about those things which you now have become an expert for. And so for me, a lot of that, whether you're using social media, whether you're using traditional networking or traditional marketing and advertising, I just always want to be on the tip of the tongue of anybody that a conversation comes up, again, back to that real estate example, anybody that's in a conversation at a random dinner party and they're saying, hey, we're looking for a house. We're thinking probably the east side of town, we're first-time home buyers. And then boom, they think you have to talk to Lindsay because Lindsay is that's all she does. And so always want to be on the tip of the tongue. And the more narrow you can get with those 2 first tips, the easier that's going to be to happen, the more organically that's just going to occur, and you can become an expert in that space. And that's why we've had the success we've had, is because we only focus on first responders. We have 2 products that we sell them, and it's just an extremely efficient process, but it's universal to any business.
I love that. Okay, so it's very memorable, right? The riches are in the niches, and
Right.
you all and your team are proof of that. So here's what I heard you say: choosing a very specific target market, but I think from the human side of it, making sure it's a market of people that you actually enjoy and want to be around, right? So I love that. Very, very relevant, very important. The second tip is, as you've narrowed down that market, then only choosing to focus on 1 or 2 products. I think that's so key, right? Because we can get really distracted by bright and shiny objects, and then it makes it even harder for people to remember you or know how to hire you. So really great tip there. And then as that builds, tip 3 is building a system to only reach those people for those products. So I love that. Super simple. So will you share with us how we can find you, social media, online? How can people reach out to you and find you?
Yeah, Everything is at Tyler Jack Harris. So on all the different social media platforms, or you can just go to tylerjackharris.com.
Perfect, perfect. And then we're switching it up. So if you've been listening to the 3 tip bits, you know that we end on a happy note, right? But Tyler's been prepped for this. So we're going to switch up the last question to be, what is one hack, one life hack that you want to share with our listeners, Tyler?
Yeah, so something that I'm just obsessed with right now is breathing meditation. And the specific meditation that I'm using is the Wim Hof breathing method. So that's WIM HOF method. And there's an app you can download. It's free to use, but it's a very specific style of breathing meditation. And for me, it's something that has absolutely changed my life. Made me so much more cognizant of my breath just throughout the day. As the average American and really average person in the world, we are shallow breathers. We're chest breathers. And so being able to, in a conversation like this, just pause and get that deep breath in, it just makes you completely. These breathing meditations for me have been extremely, extremely calming and peaceful, and a definite necessity with all the chaos with this crisis that we're facing. It's been something that throughout the middle of the day, as I'm, call, Zoom call, Zoom call, I can say, hey, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take 12 minutes. I'm going to go lay down, do this breathing meditation, come right back to where I'm at. And it feels like I hit the reset button. I feel like a completely different person. And so I would highly recommend people checking out that app, the Wim Hof method, and just giving it a try. It certainly can't hurt you,
That's
but
right.
benefit from it if you actually do it on a regular basis.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that. I've actually never heard of that before. So
Yeah,
I will
awesome.
definitely check it out. Tyler, thanks so much for joining us today. And as always, thank you for tuning in to another 3 tip bit. See you on the other side for our next conversation.